Hey friends, it's Wilk, and before we get started with this week's episode, I want to mention a couple things real quick about a couple affiliates. Affiliates help me keep the show going, and by you using the services of one of our affiliates, I get a little kickback at no extra cost to you. So if you've ever thought about starting a podcast, Buzzsprout is a great place to start. They have some phenomenal tools, and starting a podcast is a lot easier when you've got the right tools. So join over 100,000 other people who've started a podcast with Buzzsprout, and if you click the link to them in our show notes, I'll get a little bit of something for every paid membership. So I would really appreciate that. Helps a lot to support the show. Also, online grocery shopping, it's a big thing right now, especially with the pandemic and the lockdowns and people, being sketchy about going out in the public. If you want to do some grocery shopping at home in a quick, convenient way and have that stuff delivered to your house, check out Instacart. Instacart is a phenomenal way for people to buy groceries online and have them conveniently delivered to their house. So, again, in our show notes, check out one of the banner ads, check out the links. Instacart is a great way to do a little bit of online grocery shopping and have it conveniently delivered to your house. So with that, we're going to dive right into the show. Welcome back, my friends, to the DerateTheHate.com podcast. I am Wilk from WilksWorld.com, and this is going to be episode 24 of our podcast. And this week's episode is going to be called, It's Not What You Said, It's How You Said It. Now, I'm sure most people have heard that before. You get into an argument with somebody, or usually a significant other or something like that, and it's probably not in the argument, but it's certainly a catalyst to the argument. And they say, it's really not what you said, but it's how you said it. And before anybody gets any ideas, just please don't think that this week's episode started because that's the way a fight started. There was no arguments this week in my life. It's something that came to mind, and I think I heard somebody say it. I don't know where I heard it, but it seemed like a good show title this week, and so that's what we're gonna go with. And I probably have a couple of examples, and it may trail off into something else, but anyways. Episode 24, it's not what you said, it's how you said it. So, first thing I want to ask is something I ask a lot. What have you done today to make the world a better place? What have you done today to make your life a better life? They go in hand. The Derate the Hate podcast is all about bettering the world one attitude at a time. So that's exactly what we're trying to do. And we're trying to do that by helping everybody better their life. All right, diving into episode 24. It's not what you said, it's how you said it. So many times people get into maybe a tiff with their partner, their husband, wife, whatever, and you're like, oh my, what did I do? What did I say? And they say, it's not what you said, it's how you said it. Okay. A lot of times we have to take into account our audience, and when I say that, people are most certainly, some people are most certainly more sensitive than others, and they're sensitive to body language, they're sensitive to the tone of your voice, they're sensitive to whatever, and far be it from me. I'm trust me, I'm not the type in most situations to use kid gloves if I want to get my point across. I can be very loud, I can be boisterous, but all in all, my big thing is I always want to be kind. I always want to be kind. I want to be courteous. I want to show respect to the person that I'm talking to, and I think we all probably know somebody. There's probably somebody in our life that we've talked to before, and the way they look at you or the way that they say something, you just look at them and all of a sudden you're not listening to what they're saying, you're listening to what you're seeing. And you're just talking past each other because, it starts an argument. And it starts an argument not because of the content of the statement itself, but the way that somebody said something, or the way that you said something to somebody. It can be the end all be all of the conversation if you start off right away on a bad note. If you start off with a bad tone, or you have a certain condescension about what you're saying to the person that you're saying it to. I find myself doing that sometimes, and I try to curb it because I get frustrated. I get frustrated just like everybody else gets frustrated, and I may be talking to somebody, and all of a sudden I'll catch myself, and I'll catch my tone, and I'll think about it, and I'll think, am I really using the right tone right now to get my point across? Because I've now turned this into something that it's not. I may want this to be a coaching session for somebody, and now instead of me actually getting my point across in an effective way, I have now turned this into something where this person that I'm speaking with is on guard. They're emotionally hurt right off the bat, and if they're emotionally hurt right off the bat, they're probably not going to get the full effect of the lesson that I'm trying to give. The coaching session that I am trying to portray to this person is now probably, if not completely lost, it can most certainly be partially lost, just because of the tone that I've used starting that conversation. That's something that I've got to work on myself, and that's something that each of us has to work on in order to be a better mentor, a better coach, a better husband, a better wife, whatever the case may be. If we start a conversation with the wrong tone, if we start a conversation with the wrong facial expression or the wrong kind of attitude, the point we're trying to get across may be completely lost on the audience that we are trying to portray that to. So, think about that. Think about it the next time you're talking to somebody. If somebody asks you a question, especially somebody who looks up to you, are you presenting the point that you're trying to make with the right tone? Because maybe, just maybe, that point will not get made because of not what you're trying to say, but how you just said it. So, just something to think about. This is obviously going to be a very short podcast this week. It's just something I thought about this week. I can't even remember what brought it up, but I wrote it down when it happened. Just like many other things that come up in my life, I'll catch something, or I'll hear something, or I'll see something, and it just grabs me. It stands out, and makes me want to, get that point across to our listeners, because I know that if implemented, this may make a difference, and it may make one of you out there listening to this have a better day. It may make the world a bit of a better place, because we're bettering the world one attitude at a time here at the Dear Hate the Hate podcast. So, with that said, this week's feel-good story is going to come to us out of Holland, Michigan, Big Lake Brewery. I saw this, there's a news station up there that does a one good thing segment, and if there's two things that I really like, two things that I love, is people doing good things for other people, and beer. I'm a beer lover. I love drinking beer. And up in Holland, Michigan, there's an outfit called Big Lake Brewing, and they brew a specialty beer. Have been brewing a specialty beer dedicated to the frontline workers in the pandemic. They're at the Holland, Michigan hospital, and the proceeds of that Holland that Healthcare Heroes is what it's called, the Healthcare Heroes brew that they've been brewing. The proceeds from that have been donated to the frontline care workers there at the Holland Hospital. So that's very awesome. In fact, reading further in the article, They donated up to $2,500 to the hospital, and every month they do a special charity cause. So this outfit, Big Lake Brewing up in Holland, Michigan, is obviously a good place to get a beer, and a good place to meet good people. So way to go, keep it up, and that's awesome. So I'll put a link to that story for the One Good Thing. One Good Thing story from what is it, WZZM 13 in up in Michigan there, and it sounds like they do a lot of those One Good Thing stories. So it'd be something to follow online anyway. Good thing, good news stories are always a good way to make a person feel good. So okay, with that. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna call it a short night here and wrap up this week's episode. Again, episode 24. It's not what you said; it's how you said it. And I'll ask again: what have you done today to make your life a better life? What have you done today to make the world a better place? There's a whole lot of good out there, and we've got to do everything we can to drown out all that bad and drown it out with the good. So. When you get back out there, be kind to one another, be grateful for everything that you've got, and remember, it's up to you to make each and every day the day that you want it to be. So, from all of us here at Wilkes World, I just want to say a very heartfelt thank you for all the support. Check out our show notes to check out our affiliates, and with that, I'm going to back on out of here and just say we'll catch you next week.